celebrities on both sides of the Atlantic under attack for expressing common-sense views about biological sex. First, Sherlock actress and new Strictly Come Dancing signing Amanda Abbington. She was forced to issue a grovelling apology after the cancel culture mob accused her of being transphobic simply for stating that semi-nude drag queens should not perform in front of kids. Watch.
I'm not transphobic. I'm not a transphobic person. I am a firm supporter of the legitimate trans community. I always have been.
Over in the US, the chart-topping singer Ne-Yo, who's famous for hits like this.
She got her own thing, that's why I love her, missing independent.
Well, he's found himself in hot water after this podcast appearance.
Ask your son, what is a girl?
That's a good one.
What is he going to do? He's going to say, well, he might want to play with dolls. All right, you want to play with dolls. Fine, play with dolls.
Right.
But you're a boy playing with dolls.
That's
I want
right.
to wear pink. All right, cool, wear pink, but you're a boy. I just personally come from an era where a man was a man and a woman was a woman.
Now, predictably, trans activists hounded Ne-Yo, and he seemed to feel forced to say sorry after that appearance went viral, writing, "I'd like to express my deepest apologies to anyone that I may have hurt with my comments on parenting and gender identity. I've always been an advocate for love and inclusivity." But the saga took an unexpected twist when Ne-Yo then took to Instagram to withdraw his apology that he said was written by his PRs. Watch.
First and foremost, I do not apologize for having an opinion on this matter. I am a 43-year-old heterosexual man raising 5 boys and 2 girls, okay? That's my reality. Somebody asked my opinion on this matter, and this is how I feel. I will never be okay with allowing a child to make a decision that detrimental to their life.
Joining me live now, a man who knows exactly how Ne-Yo and Amanda Abbington must be feeling, former Mumford & Sons member turned star podcaster Winston Marshall, who faced a vicious online backlash simply for reviewing a book about Antifa by the journalist Andy No. So, Winston, this is fascinating, isn't it? Because two major celebrities on both sides of the Atlantic feeling forced to apologise for something that not only they believe, Winston, but the vast majority of Americans and Brits also believe.
Well, I'm not so gloomy about what's happened, actually.
Okay.
So, as you've just shown those two responsive videos, firstly, Amanda Abbington, who your viewers will know from Sherlock and is about to come on Strictly, and Strictly are keeping her on, I note.
Yeah.
She did that 7-minute video and you didn't show the whole video. But she doesn't actually apologize for what she said. And what she said, by the way, was that she didn't feel comfortable with a 12-year-old doing a sexualized drag show in front of adults. And this was on the back of last year. We had a drag queen hour. And that's now moved into libraries. So that's still an issue we're dealing with. It was not trans-related specifically. And in her apology, she apologized simply to those who would not be watching Strictly because of her opinions, but she did not retract her opinion. The same thing happened with Ne-Yo, which I think gives a lot of. I'm sort of quite happy to see these great artists, and these are big artists. So Ne-Yo's a 3-time Grammy Award-winning R&B artist,
musician.
sold something like over 20 million records worldwide. This is a big star, and there was initially this apology. But then he did this video, as you showed, saying, I'm not going to stand behind my publicist's computer apology. I'm going to say what I really think. And yeah, if you're offended, I'm sorry. But at the end of the day, this is what I think. And he has pretty common sense opinions, as does Amanda Abbington, about what is a woman,
Well, indeed.
what is not okay for children.
So, Winston, how does it work in this situation? Because, look, you've been there, you've experienced yourself when you're a member of Mumford & Sons and you got caught up in your own controversy. What happens? Do the managers and the agents and the record companies get involved and say to Ne-Yo, look, the only way to deal with this is to release this apology. Here's a draft. This is what you should post. We'll do it on your behalf. Is that what goes down?
I think that this particular incident is interesting in highlighting exactly the role of publicists in all of this. Earlier today, I was listening to The Trial of Kevin Spacey Unfiltered, a podcast by Anne McIlney. And of course, Spacey has been exonerated. At the height of the Me Too movement in 2017, he was accused by Anthony Rapp. And last month, as I said, he was
totally clear.
Those charges were dropped. And in this podcast, it's really worth listening to. Episode 2, The Apology, it describes how he was given an apology, regardless of the fact that he couldn't even remember what happened because nothing actually happened. But these crisis PR, these publicists, they have a myopic worldview. Many of them are progressives, and they don't care about the truth. They care about looking good. And the thing about life is, you can want to pursue the truth and you can want to look good, but eventually you're going to have to choose one or the other, because eventually telling the truth doesn't look good. And this is the problem that many publicists, not all, I know, but many publicists, that's their problem. And I really urge any artists listening that if they have a publicist telling them to say something that is not true, to fire them immediately. Your responsibility as an artist is to tell the truth. And anyone who guides you otherwise has not your best interests at heart.
Yeah, indeed. So Neo, he's done the right thing, and actually maybe he's helped us a bit too, because he's exposed the sham of the process a bit. Sometimes when you see one of those apologies from an artist, it's not necessarily what they believe, Winston.
Exactly. You see a little bit of what's going on, but ultimately it's the artist's responsibility to not listen to bad advice. And I start more positively than this segment started a little gloomy, but okay, we're getting these now. It was every week where we were getting some sort of apology, or someone getting apologizing for saying things like women can't have penises. Well, now it's twice every week, which seems ridiculous, but at least now they're not apologizing or taking back what they said. At least they're just apologizing for people they've offended, but that they're standing by their opinions. And that is at least one step in the right direction, I think.
Well, indeed. And especially, by the way, we should always point out when those opinions are backed up by biological reality and actually backed up by the popular opinion of the vast majority of Americans and Brits, even if we're told by the liberal elite it's not what we're meant to think. But Winston Marshall, former member of Mumford & Sons, turned brilliant podcaster for The Spectator, thank you so much.